I'm alive. I'll never die. I'm alive and I'll never die. Death sentence. It's a fate worse than death. I'm alive and I'll never die. I have to thank. Who do I have to thank? Who do I have to? Who do I have to thank for it? If I have to. I need more light because I can't do this without light. Correct me if I'm trying to be my own little light in the dark here. I'd love to know where I'm wrong. I'd love to be told that I'm wrong if I am wrong so that I could see the error of my ways. It says we're in chapter 49. There, now I look like the exact kind of person you would never listen to say a word. Uh, Chapter 49, in which the invading Lamanites are unable to take the fortified cities of Ammonihah, Noah, Amalickiah, curses God, oh, and swears to drink the blood of Moroni. Hey, Laman and his brethren continue to strengthen the church. I didn't used to notice it, but now I notice it. The lights in LED and it's just going. It's like fluorescence, but slower. It's like a broken fluorescent. It was driving me crazy, but I think it's kind of like tense in your face. Good therapy somehow. Now it came to pass in the 11th month of the 19th year. So next month, right? Or no, we were here. On the 10th day of the month. Yeah. The armies of the Lamanites were seen approaching towards the land of Ammonihah. Behold, the city had been rebuilt. Moroni had stationed an army by the borders of the city, and they had cast up dirt round about to shield them from the arrows and the stones of the Lamanites. For behold, they fought with arrows and stones. Behold, I said that the city of Ammonihah had been rebuilt. I say unto you, yeah, that it was in part rebuilt, and because the Lamanites had destroyed it once because of the iniquity of the people. You're like, we've been here before, done this before. When did they do that? I want to see. Where's the topical dictionary? Ammonihah. Ammonihah. No, not the appendix. Where's the topical guide? Ammonihah. 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 Ha 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 ha. All right. Ass. Aspire. Asleep. What was I looking for? Amalickiah. MNOP, apostles, apocalypse, apathy, MN, ancient of days, ancient, afraid. So let's see. Amalek, altar, ambassador. What? They don't have Amalek? Maybe it's in the index. Accursed adversary, Alma, Aminadai. Who the fuck is Aminadai? Interprets writings on temple wall. Oh, he's that guy who's a descendant of Nephi, who's a descendant of the guy. He's an ancestor of Amulek. I remember that because I'm like, so there were 2 times God wrote on the wall. You have been weighed. You have been measured. Amalekites. Amalekia. What was the city called? I'm not even looking up the right thing anyway. Ammonihah. Not Almalik. Amoron. Amnor. Ammonites. Ammonihah. City of. Oh, land of. City of. See, city of. It's in the west. Alma preaches at Ammonihah, land of Ammonihah named after first possessor. Alma cast out of Ammonihah. Alma returns to Ammonihah. Words of Alma and Amulek to people at Ammonihah. Destruction of people predicted. People at Ammonihah burn scriptures, slay believers. Shit. Alma and Amulek are imprisoned. Falling prison walls, slay leaders. Alma and Amulek are freed. People flee from prophets. Alma and Amulek banished from Ammonihah. People remain hard-hearted. Lamanites destroy people of Ammonihah. God, desolation of Nahors. Rebuilt, which is what we're talking about now. Let's see, where is this? Where do they burn the scriptures? We should go back. It seems like an important part of this war story. 1422. Oh, I do remember this. Then not only do they burn the scriptures and kill, they throw the women into the fires. Alma and Amulek are imprisoned and smitten. The believers in their holy scriptures are burned by fire. The martyrs are received by the Lord in glory. Prison walls are rent and fall, and the Amulek are delivered, and their persecutors are slain. Alma goes on his big preach, and they don't want to listen. The Nahors. There's a Bramiumptum in this somewhere earlier. Okay. Now, this was done before the chief judge of the land. Oh. It came to pass after I made an end of speaking unto the people, many of them did believe on his words, and began to repent and to search the scriptures. But the more part of them were desirous that they might destroy Alma and Amulek, for they were angry with Alma because of the plainness. Damn. of his words unto Zeezrom. And they also said that Amulek had lied unto them, and had reviled against their law, and also against their lawyers and judges. They were also angry with Alma and Amulek, and because they had testified so plainly against their wickedness, they sought to put them away privily, like Joseph and Mary. Look, girl, I don't know what to tell you. You've definitely been fucked. You look like you're like 6 months along. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of this. How about you just go? No, 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 please, please, I swear it was an angel, please. Mm-hmm. But it came to pass that they did not. But they took them and bound them with strong cords, and took them before the chief judge of the land. And the people went forth and witnessed against them, testifying that they had reviled against the laws, the law, the disrespect of law, and their lawyers and judges of the land, and also of all the people that were in the land, and also testified that there was but one God, and that he should send his son among the people, but he should not save them. And many such things did the people testify against Alma and Amulek. Now this was done before the chief judge of the land. And it came to pass that Zeezrom was astonished at the words which had been spoken, and he also knew concerning the blindness of the minds which he had caused among the people by his lying words. And his soul began to be harrowed up under a consciousness of his own guilt. That's kind of inner introspection we're looking for. And it came to pass that he began to cry unto the people, saying, Behold, I am guilty, and these men are spotless before God. And he began to plead for them from that time forth. But they reviled him, saying, Art thou also possessed of the devil? And they spit upon him, and cast him out from among them. And also all those who believed in the words which had been spoken by Alma and Amulek. And they cast them out, and sent men to cast stones at them. And they brought their wives and children together, and whosoever believed or had been taught to believe in the word of God, they caused that they should be cast into the fire. Bye, Jean. Bye, you witches. And they also brought forth their records which contained the holy scriptures, and cast them into the fire also, that they might be burned or destroyed by fire. Damn. Woo. Let's see. And now it came to pass. I can't go on a long tangent. I mean, I can. I mean, I could. I mean, I won't. I mean, I might. It's just that if we're talking about the city of Alma and Amulek, and how this dude Alma, he was just fucking starving. He's like wandering around the city until somebody gives him some food, and this other dude is like, "Hey, come here, come stay here. I got some food." And then he gets suckered into becoming the mission companion of this dude until fucking death, which sucks. I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to have to be Amulek. But whatever. Nobody likes him. Everybody casts him out. The family, I think, turns on him. And then they try to tell people. And this is where he finds a bunch of idiots on the hill, and they're so blind. They're so blind. And so this dude Zeezrom was just kind of running the town. He's got everybody wherever he wants them. And they go into their Ramyumptum and they pray. And they go, Holy, holy God, we thank thee that thou hast not made us like unto everybody else, and that we're so much better than everybody else. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you, for you have made us better than everybody else. And they were like on top of this great big like altar preaching platform thing. I mean, they're like, that's what they do. They go in there and they thank God that they're better than everybody else. But I think Alma takes it a little over the top. As we'll see, the women and children start getting burned after Zeezrom has a change of heart. Like, what the fuck, guys? Couldn't you have, like, backed off for another day? We could have got the women out of town. So they didn't have to be thrown in the fire like Jean. Oh, don't worry. Jean doesn't come around yet. This is only 72 BC. Jean's not around for like 400 something more years. Or something like that. Nevertheless, they could not suffer to lay down their lives that their wives and their children should be massacred by the barbarous cruelty of those who were once their brethren. What you mean? That just happened. But these guys can't do it? See, we were talking about the women getting thrown in the fire from Alma when he was younger, before he had his sons that he could chew out and have fucked up visions for to terrorize all of the people. But here, so Alma and Amulek go preach the gospel, and they preach the gospel so intensely that all the women and children get burned. But then here's Moroni, and he's like, we're not going to let our women and children get burned. And it's kind of like, that's what God does to the believers. He just lets them get burned to death and thrown to killed and stabbed and raped and tortured and murdered and all horrible things, starved and freezing and so hot. And that's what God does, Moroni. You should read the history books again, because what God does is God says, you believe? Okay, I'll take you with me. Bam, you're burned in the fire. Moroni, though, he's like, we won't let this happen. We can't let this happen. We're not running away, and we're not letting this happen. Obviously, they just need to run away farther away from these people, because obviously, for 528 years, it's been nonstop. But this dude rises up. He doesn't fucking care. He murders innocents. There's no runaway plan. There's no head for the hills. There's no let's go north. They should go north. They should do what they end up doing after these wars, because the people can't fucking stand this guy Moroni. They run away. He does all this crazy stuff to get him into this war. And he believes he's doing the right thing, but it never says God told him to. Anyway. I'll play devil's advocate for Moroni. He was doing his best. He was doing what he understood. And he understood perfectly what was going to happen to his people. But they should go to war for years. Behold. Oh, but, behold. Because the Lamanites had destroyed the city, Ammoniah, before, because of the iniquity of the people. They literally destroyed. Okay, yeah, because they burned the women and children. But they destroyed the city full of wicked people. They killed all those wicked people. Except for the ones that ran away, probably, but they supposed it would again become an easy prey for them. But behold, how great was their disappointment! For behold, the Nephites had dug up a fridge of earth round about them, which was so high that the Lamanites could not cast their stones and their arrows at them, that they might take effect. Neither could they come upon them, save it was by their place of entrance. Sounds like where Leonti was on the Mount Antipas. I'm just saying they have all this energy that they can dig ginormous walls around their entire city, but they can't just pick up their stuff and fucking leave. He didn't send out spies in the night to kill this guy. He went out into the night and murdered innocents. Now, at this time, the chief captain of the Lamanites the chief captains of the Lamanites were astonished exceedingly because of the wisdom of the Nephites in preparing their places of security. Now, the leaders of the Lamanites had supposed, because of the greatness of their numbers, they supposed that they should be privileged to come upon them as they had hitherto done. Yeah. And they had also prepared themselves with shields and with breastplates. And they had also prepared themselves with garments of skins. Yea. Very thick garments to cover their nakedness. Oh, damn. This isn't a war of the Nephites and the Lamanites anymore. This is a war of these poor peasant farmer dark skinned dudes being raped into wars. They're still writing like it's not that. Oh, and being thus prepared, they suppose that they should easily overpower and subject their brethren to the yoke of bondage. This is what happened way back. Nephi left the city of Nephi and ran away. No. Nephi left the land of their inheritance and ran away to the city of Nephi. And they chased them there. And they took it. And then some freaking Nephite white dude comes back and he's like, I want to be in charge. And they ended up paying 50% tax on everything. Don't even get me started on tithing, what increase means, but okay. So then they're just like the slaves of this king, and they're just like making half of what they would. And it's true, the Nephites and the Lamanites, they want to murder them, and they do, but they egg it on, and they go out, and they try to fight them like 3 times. And they try to win, and they try to fight, and they lose, and they lose, and they lose. They beat that guy Abinadi to death with those flaming sticks. And there's this huge, just like generations of awfulness that go on. And this dude, King Messiah, is like, what the fuck with you people? What the fuck with you people? What the fuck? And he delivers this long sermon, which is great. And it convinces everyone, but they don't know how to explain it to their children or even tell them what they've been through. It's so awful. It's like, what? Oh. So here they are again. Oh, or slay and massacre them according to their pleasure, but behold, to their uttermost astonishment, they were prepared for them. God. In a manner which never had been known among the children of Lehi. Now, they were prepared for the Lamanites to battle, after the manner of the instructions of Moroni. We chose war. And it came to pass that the Lamanites, or the Amalekiahites, were exceedingly astonished at their manner of preparation for war. Now, if King Amalickiah had come down out of the land of Nephi, God, see, he stayed home, fucking that queen that he doesn't even want. Or maybe he does, I don't know. Does they have a child? I don't know. I don't know. Now, if King Amalickiah had come down out of the land of Nephi at the head of his army, perhaps he would have caused the Lamanites to have attacked the Nephites at the city of Ammonihah. For behold, he did not care for the blood of his people, for they were not his people. If they were his people, then he got himself put exactly where he belonged, and it wasn't enough. I don't know. But behold, Amalickiah did not come down himself to battle. And behold, his chief captains durst not attack the Nephites at the city of Ammonihah. For Moroni had altered the management of affairs among the Nephites. He had altered the management of affairs among the Nephites. He had altered the management of affairs. At the city of Ammonihah. For behold, he did not care the blood. And behold, his chief captains durst not. Insomuch that the Lamanites were disappointed in their places of retreat, and they could not come upon them. Therefore, they retreated into the wilderness, and took their camp, and marched toward the land of Noah, supposing that to be the next best place for them to come against the Nephites. This gird up your loins mean. For they knew not that Moroni had fortified, or had built forts of security for every city in all the land round about. This is going to bite him in the ass later on. Therefore they marched forward to the land of Noah with a firm determination. Yea, yeah, their chief captains came forward and took an oath that they would destroy the people of that city. Don't swear at all. But behold, to their astonishment, the city of Noah, which had hitherto been a weak place, had now, by the means of Moroni, become strong. Yeah. Even to exceed the strength of the city of Ammonihah. And now behold, this was wisdom in Moroni, whatever that means. For he had supposed that they would be frightened of the city of Ammonihah, and as the city of Noah had hitherto been the weakest part of the land. You can't just say this is what he thought would happen. That's what he thought would happen. Can't say that, no. Oh, but behold, to their astonishment, the city of Noah, which had hitherto been a weak place, and now the means of Moroni became strong, even to exceed the strength of the city of Ammonihah. And now behold, this was wisdom in Moroni, whatever that means. For he had supposed that they would be frightened at the city of Ammonihah, and as the city of Noah had hitherto been the weakest part of the land, therefore they would march hither to battle, and thus it was according to his desires. I'm just trying to imagine Nephi spending 20 minutes to 2 hours, I'm not sure how long it takes, to write down that last verse where he's like, oh God, I gotta say every single thing I just said before again. And it God, just read the last verse. Therefore they would march thither to battle. Moroni understood, and thus it was according to his desires. Huh. And behold, Moroni had appointed Lehi to be chief captain over the men of that city. And it was the same Lehi. See, because if you appoint chief captains over cities, then you're like supreme chief captain. And it was the same Lehi who fought with the Lamanites in the valley on the east of the river Sidon. Yeah, these two have been here since they were killing what's his face. I don't know. So many bad guys. We read it, but I can't remember now. And now behold, it came to pass that when the Lamanites had found that Lehi commanded the city, they were again disappointed. It's taken these 2 days of disappointment. They are disappointed. You know what? My parents would be disappointed in me. It's because they couldn't take my city. Or is it because they already had everything I had in my whole city and wasn't good enough? But behold, and now behold, it came to pass. Now behold, the Lamanites could not get into their forts of security by any other way save by the entrance, because of the highness of the bank which had been thrown up, and the depth of the ditch which had been dug round about, save it were by the entrance. What's by the entrance? Okay. Oh, dug right. Mm-hmm. And thus were the Nephites prepared to destroy all such as should attempt to climb up to enter the fort by any other way, by casting over stones and arrows at them. Thus they were prepared, a body of their strongest men with their swords and their slings to smite down all who should attempt to come into their place of security by the place of entrance. And thus were they prepared to defend themselves against the Lamanites. And it came to pass that the captain of the Lamanites brought up their armies. The captains of the Lamanites brought up their armies before the place of entrance, and began to contend with the Nephites to get into their place of security. But behold, they were driven back from time to time, insomuch that they were slain with an immense slaughter. Now, when they found that they could not obtain power over the Nephites by the pass, they began to dig down their banks of earth. Oh my goodness, I've seen this in Lords of the Realm. This is where everybody dies. That's trying to dig. They get shot down. Now, when they found that they could not obtain power over the Nephites by the pass, they began to dig down their banks of earth that they might obtain a pass to their armies, that they might have an equal chance to fight. But behold, in these attempts they were swept off by the stones and arrows which were thrown at them, and instead of filling up their ditches by pulling down the banks of earth, they were filled up in a measure with their dead and wounded bodies. Thus, the Nephites had all power over their enemies. And thus, the Lamanites did attempt to destroy the Nephites until their chief captains were all slain. Yeah. And more than 1,000 of the Lamanites were slain. While, on the other hand, there was not a single soul of the Nephites which was slain. There were about 50 who were wounded, who had been exposed to the arrows of the Lamanites through the pass, but they were shielded by their shields and their breastplates and their headplates, insomuch that their wounds were upon their legs, many of which were very severe. They did not have, as the Spartans had, upon their feet and shins. Ugh, ugh, ugh. But it does show that it works. Right here, they basically did what the Spartans did, except for not that boat there. Well, no, they're not. The Spartans marched straight down to the pass and said, "You shall not pass, try." These guys hit them with their rocks and arrows, but still. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of these dudes now. And it came to pass that when the Lamanites saw that their chief captains are all slain, they fled into the wilderness. And it came to pass that they returned to the land of Nephi to inform their king Amalickiah, who was a Nephite by birth. It's like they've forgotten already. But okay. Concerning their great loss. And it came to pass that he was exceedingly angry with his people. Why do they call it? Well, they accepted. Yeah, whatever. Is it because of the queen accepted him? So, okay. No, not his people. He was exceedingly angry with the people, the Lamanite people, because he had not obtained his desire over the Nephites. He had not subjected them to the yoke of bondage. Ah, fuck! Why? What do you mean you failed and everybody died? What are you talking about? It's this guy. It's like they just went crazy and decided to defend themselves. Yeah, he was exceedingly wroth, and he did curse God. Apparently, this guy does not hang out on the bed of this new woman, like just taken, just laying there, just like, I got a kingdom. This is all mine. Everything that y'all took from us, those dumbasses tried to take back, slaved them, chased them off. It's all mine now. You're not gonna fight me. You don't care. You don't care. You don't care. I can stay. I can have the queen. I can have the queen. Where probably has daughter too. I got. So you got like all the food. You got like. So basically, I have everything I want here, and you'll do anything for me. You'll build me a new palace. You'll build me 2 new palaces. I got this queen. Apparently, that's not what this guy did. Apparently. So he curses God. And also, Moroni. Oh, he curses Moroni. Swearing with an oath that he would drink his blood. And this because Moroni had kept the commandment of God in preparing for the safety of his people. It's just that the author of the story never said that that's what Moroni was doing. I can't get over the fact that the first thing Moroni did was shag his army out there for the long haul, murder some innocent dudes to death. If they hadn't taken their tents, he might have caught Amalickiah. But he got away. So then there's just this random ass group of people who's like, I don't know, he was really loud and talked a lot and was really convincing and he promised us a lot of stuff. And Moroni, instead of being like prisoners of war, go think about it. He straight murders them to death. It's just like, it's almost like this guy wrote this line in here, even though he never wrote this line in here before, but now he is. And it came to pass that, on the other hand, the people of Nephi did thank the Lord their God because of his matchless power in delivering them from the hands of their enemies. Yeah, and we see how long that works. Go fucking rejoice and glory in God, and you're going to die next week. And thus ended the 19th year of the reign of the judges over the people of Nephi. And when is this? Are they Hebrew? Is it we're in like springtime now? Is that a winter? Is that like the winter defense of the forts? Yeah. And there was continual peace among them, and exceedingly great prosperity in the church, because of their heed and diligence which they gave unto the word of God, which was declared unto them by Helaman and Sheblon and Corianton, who becomes the prodigal son because his dad just won't fucking believe him. It's like his dad was too good of friends with Moroni to listen to his son. No, murder, 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 death. I don't have time for you. I don't care what you're saying. You're a bad person. What you did is wrong. I don't have time to listen to you. Explain to me what you did or didn't do. You're wrong. There's a war on. Or I think that was after the war was over, though, when he chews the shit out of his son for no fucking reason at all, and he's completely and totally wrong. And everybody calls him the prophet of God. Then he wanders it. Then he's the one that fucking freaked out, has this crazy ass fucking dream vision thing, screams at his son's gonna scream at everyone, starts this whole fucking thing. And listen, I'm not opposed to teaching the truth and correct way in the church. But if your whole intention is to get people to murder each other and cause such a fucking frenzy, just so that you can run out there and murder innocent fucking people for no fucking reason at all, God, false peace, yea. And there was continual peace among them, and exceedingly great prosperity. That's God cursing them, because God fucking knows if he prospers them, they'll forget him and whatever. They got like a covenant that things will go well for them. No, that they'll prosper. Well, yeah, whatever. It's just so weird that somebody shows up all the time, God, to murder everybody, and they all blame each other. Who blinded the author of this book? Ugh. And Ammon and his brethren also, yea. And by all those who have been ordained by the holy order of God, being baptized unto repentance, and sent forth to preach among the people. God, just fucking kill me. If they were doing the exact same thing that we're doing now, it's shit. Doesn't work. Nobody gives a fuck. Family home evening, by the way. We testify as solemn witnesses of Christ that the dissolution of the family unit will bring about the destructions in the end times that were prophesied by all the prophets since the beginning of time. No, I'd rather in and murder people in war. But you can prosper till you die. Chapter 50. And now it came to pass that Moroni did not stop making preparations for war. I mean, why are you carrying a gun except for you intend to shoot it eventually? Oh, it's just in case of self-defense. Okay. So you're just gonna always have this gun on your hip in case somebody else also has a gun on their hip and just out of nowhere tries to blow out your brains? We're not going hunting later. Even if we were, we could stop and pick up your gun. You wouldn't hunt with a pistol. At no point does it say that Moroni gathered the people together to pray and fast before the Lord God Almighty to prosper them in peace as he had done for the anti-Nephi Lehis and call forth his people to bury their weapons. Doesn't say that. Or that they ran away. This is what his son does, not Moroni's, but Moronihah, because Moroni has a son, and he's friends probably with Coriantumr and Shiblon and Halaman and probably Ammon, but he's kind of old probably a little bit. Maybe not. Yeah, he would be a little old. His son, after getting chewed the fuck out by his dad for no reason whatsoever at all that was true, leaves and does what they need to do right now. Travels to the north, and he travels far, far, far away and says, guess what? I don't want to be fighting with these dickheads anymore. I don't care. I'm leaving. He drove me to it, Dad. Faithfulness is shit. Well, not personally. Personal faithfulness for yourself, fine. But all the stuff that they tell you you need to do to be faithful, all the shit that they put in your fucking brain and fucking heart about blah, 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 and why the fuck things should be a certain fucking goddamn way. This miserable ass piss shit. Don't drink it and don't eat it. Don't put it in your smoothies. Fuck off, Dad. Alma, says Shiblon, but not yet. God, things were not well. Things were not going well. This sounds like such an incredible hero story, but things are like fucking pop. Shit, ass, nasty, disgusting, rock bottom. And they're just grinding their teeth on the rocks, begging God to keep them prospering so that they can keep grinding their fucking teeth on the fucking rocks. This is not how you solve the problems. And later they're going to blame somebody. But they won't blame Moroni and his murdering of innocents. That starts this whole fucking war. No, Talon, Amalekith started the war. No, then Alma started the war. So God started the war. Alma's children started the war because he left and they didn't know what to do without him. That could be true. They just ran out with the same frenzy panic as he'd given them instead of taking it in for a fucking week. Start a riot right now. Why? Because we fucking want to go to war, goddammit. Says the Lord. I'm sending you to fucking war and this is how I'm doing it. Okay. And God is a God of war and he wants war and slaughter and destruction of people. No, it's just that people can't remember him if he doesn't murder them to death. And that's probably true. I mean, it says like 10,000 fucking times in this book that it's true. What does it say? The people were reading their scriptures again. Well, Alma got the people reading their scriptures again. They'll catch up. The next generation or something. Maybe. Probably not. Yes, they do actually. Every single person probably that read their scriptures is part of the groups that just fucking take off as soon as it's safe and there's a pause. There's no end to this war right now. This war that just started doesn't end. Till Moroni is standing on the mountain crying his ass off about his fallen men. No Mormon. They're eating each other. Oh. He did not stop making preparations for war, or to defend his people against the Lamanites. But it's not even the Lamanites. They're the bodies. For he caused that his army should commence in the commencement of the 20th year of the reign of the judges. It's been 20 years. It's been 20 years since they threw Alma the Elder up on that hot seat and said, "Judge us, dude." And he's like, "Yo, I'll get a group of guys together for you." And upon the top of these ridges of earth, he caused that there should be 20th year, that they should, in the commencement of the he caused that his army should commence in the commencement of the 20th year, reign of the judges, that they should commence. God Almighty, why? Not only did you make them write down this history, but you made them write it down in this language with this, what is it? Syntax. Oh, when did they do it? Oh, it was in the commencement of the commencement. They commenced at the commencement, commencing in digging up heaps of earth round about all the cities. Pack your bags and fucking leave. Okay, that's not what God's planned, apparently. God wants war. No, he didn't want war. Then why the fuck are they preparing for it? Because the people are too stupid. And Malachi doesn't have anybody to talk to. And the queen's just all over him like, "I love you. You're so much better than my last husband." Yeah, anybody to talk to. They're all too stupid. And now all his chief captains are dead. So does that mean he killed all his friends? What about the friends that stabbed the king for him? Were they there too, or was it different people? Are they still back at the palace? Hopefully. I hope they're back at the palace. I don't know why, but I hope they're back at the palace for some reason. Somebody else might say, "I hope they all die during then," but come on. Stab some innocents with Moroni. And upon the top of these ridges of earth he causes there should be timbers. They're chopping down trees. Yeah, works of timbers built up to the height of a man round about the cities. My goodness graciousness. Is this dude, is Captain Moroni also Commander Washington? General Washington? Assassin's Creed 3, and in the one in Louisiana with the girl that's black and a slave. Only half black, and she's not a slave. Okay. She was a slave. Her mom was a slave. That's what they do, except for those ones that are like 4 times the height of men. That's a fort. Goddamn. I mean, by God. Damn. It's not the same thing. Okay, well then. And upon the top of these ridges, timbers, height of a man, he caused that upon those works of timbers there should be a frame of pickets. Wow! Built upon the timbers, round about, and they were strong and high. And he caused towers to be erected that overlooked those works of pickets. And he caused places of security to be built upon those towers. Damn. he's got he's got ridges, and on the ridges he's got timbers, and on the timbers he's got pickets. He's got these towers taller than all those things to look over them, and on the towers he's got places of refuge. That the stone and the arrows of the Lamanites could not hurt them. And they were prepared that they could cast stones from the top thereof, according to their pleasure and their strength, and slay him who should attempt to approach near the walls of the city. Am I hero worshipping Ammon? I still can't get past the line where he says he was a man like unto Ammon. And am I hero praise? Am I hero worshipping Ammon too much? Am I like Ammon was way better? Well, apparently not, because he had Ammon there to talk to. And it came to pass that Moroni caused that his army should go forth from the east wilderness. Yeah. And they went forth and drove all the Lamanites who were in the east wilderness into their own lands, which were the south of the land of Zarahemla. So they used to have this like wilderness where people could just live. But they're like, no, they're chasing them out. So they're causing the civilian population of the Lamanites who are in the border areas to go back to the place that they probably ran away from because they didn't want to be there. They didn't want to be around the king. They didn't want to be around the queen. They didn't want to be around the royal family politics and bullshit. They didn't want to be the subjects of king who wanted to kill them if they wouldn't fight the Nephites. So they went to the borders near the Nephites. And here come the Nephites. Does it say they slaughtered them? They just drove all the Lamanites who were in the east wilderness into their own lands. Like, dude, these aren't their lands. They ran away from there. They didn't want to be a part of the Lamanite kingdom. They thought it'd be safer near the Nephites. They were probably planning on hiding out with you when the Lamanites show up again. And the land of Nephi did run in a straight course from the east sea to the west. Okay. And it came to pass that when Moroni had driven all the Lamanites out of the east wilderness, which was north of the lands of their own possession. Oh, so they're like going up. They're like going up. So they're like, there's a border here. And these dudes are living in the forest up here. And he's like, no, back home. Okay, old Mexico. I mean, okay, what's your face? Manifest destiny! And the land of Nephi did run in a straight course from the east to the west, and they were up here higher than the line. So drive them all back down. This is super duper racist. Is it a tax issue? It sounds like these guys just didn't have Robin Hood around to say, no, you dumbass. Get your fucking mind straight, you idiot. You're understanding, but you're not walking upon the understanding you have correctly. He's terrified. Moroni's fucking terrified. Moroni has said he's the kind of guy who sits around here. I'm just so grateful that everything's. Oh, I'm just so grateful that we're not being attacked this week. Oh, I'm just so grateful nobody murdered anybody today. Oh, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. So he's whatever. He's fucking terrified of losing his goddamn gratitude and peace by making the real tough decisions. He says, no, murder is a viable solution for our problem here. Okay. And it came to pass that when Moroni had driven all the Lamanites out of the east wilderness, which was north of the lands of their own possessions, he caused that the inhabitants who were in the land of Zarahemla and in the land round about should go forth into the east wilderness, even to the borders by the seashore, and possess the land. This dude's not quite with the times on like national politics and racial identity here. You got that land of anti-Nephi Lehi, where all the peaceful Lamanites want to end up eventually. But no, he drives them away and sticks his own people in there. He also placed armies on the south. Why don't you just build a fucking... God, you got so much fucking time to dig and dig and dig and diggity fucking dig. Why don't you do something around the edges of the wilderness? You know where it's dangerous to fight is in the wilderness? Let them come out of the wilderness and attack you among your little fortress line thing then. Oh no, it's too big. It's too big. We could never build that wall. It seems like you have all the fucking time in the fucking world. And as many fucking men as it would fucking take. Fucking do it. Let them come out of the woods. You could shoot them straight as day. Nah. Send your people into danger. He also placed armies on the south, in the borders of their possessions, and caused them to erect fortifications that they might secure their armies and their people from the hands of their enemies. Why don't you just move your fucking people away? Oh, I've read this book too many times. I know what happens too much. It's not like he could have done better, right? This is what God had him do. Well, God had Judah turn over Jesus. So hate him. Hate Moroni like you hate Judas. So you can come to terms with those two. And thus he cut off all the strongholds of the Lamanites in the east. And thus he cut off all the strongholds of the Lamanites in the east wilderness. See, I'm speaking ahead of turn. I didn't know they had strongholds, but still, come out of your strongholds in the forest. Exit the forest and die. Why can't they have the fucking forest? Leave the forest alone. Your people aren't even in the forest. Your people don't want the forest. It's full of Lamanites. Go further north. Draw a new line. How far is it? I don't know. Probably weeks of walking where they need to go. It's just that these people totally know where the land of desolation and where the old people died. And it's kind of like, why don't you walk past all the dead people and then have a new land? That's what Coriantumr does. Yeah. And thus he cut off all the strongholds of the Lamanites in the east wilderness. Yeah. And also on the west. Okay. So they got their land south border now, right? No. If they can reach you, you're not safe, Moroni. All of this time you could have spent walking away and then building a new city. With all of this fortification stuff fabricated in with it. Go leave and build a goddamn fortress of fortresses for your people. No. We're going to run around like chickens with our heads chopped off, killing each other for the next, I don't know how long. Several chapters. And thus he cut off all the strongholds of the Lamanites on the east, on the west, fortifying the line between the Nephites and the Lamanites. So there's a line, and he's here to hold the line. Okay. You can't just... Between the land of Zarahemla and the land of Nephi. These dudes that ran out of the north crying about what these dudes in the land of Nephi were going to do. The first thing that poor King Benjamin, he was too old, right? Probably couldn't have run. He's probably on his deathbed when they met. I don't know, huh? I don't know. He's probably young and not that. Doesn't matter. They should have ran up to him and said, we need to leave. Leave all this shit behind. Let's go. And then probably the Zarahemla Heights, the people of Mulek, They probably didn't. They probably wouldn't have. So why are they the ones on their high and mighty horse? Well, it's because they had King Benjamin. Doesn't take long when you don't have a good king. Judges just aren't the same as a righteous king. From the West Sea running by the head of the river Sidon, the Nephites possessing all the land northward. Yeah. Even all the land which was northward of the land bountiful, according to their pleasure. Oh God, Moroni, he can't come to terms with it. He stabbed and murdered innocents because it is the pleasure of the Nephites to have all this land. Thus, Moroni, with his armies, which did increase daily because of the assurance of protection which his works did bring forth unto them, did seek to cut off the strength and the power of the Lamanites from off the lands of their possessions, that they should have no power upon the lands of their possession. And it came to pass that the Nephites began the foundation of a city. See, I'm telling you right fucking here. They go south and start new cities. Go north and start new cities, you dipshits. I've read the book. And they called the name of the city Moroni. And it was by the east city. Let's go look and see what happens to this city when Jesus shows up. Or when Jesus dies. Let's see the fruit of your labors, Moroni. We have to go to... And of course, it's 70 years later, too. It's not quite fair. Oh. The chief judges... that's intrigue for later. See, we're not getting to this part in the war chapters. This isn't the war chapters, it's just the chief judges murdered. Tempests, earthquakes, fires, whirlwinds, and physical upheavals attest the crucifixion of Christ. Yeah. And then after he's dead, he comes back and he's like, hey, all. Basically, let me tell you what the fuck I just did to you all. He lists it off. Oh, Zarahemla. So they just drew a line south of the city, right? Zarahemla, I burned with fire. Here it is, city number 2 in his list. The city of Moroni have I caused to be sunk in the depths of the sea, and the inhabitants thereof to be drowned. And this is the year 30. This is 105. This is 106 years later. Oh, that's a long time. 100 years later. Everybody can say, but it started off so well. No, God fucking sunk it into the sea and drowned the people in it. This city that they just started building in their fucking war craze. These are our lands. These are our lands. These are our lands. Go as fucking close as you can to the fucking border line and build new cities in my name. It doesn't say that he told them to name it that or even to do it. But they did it. They built a new city and they called it after Moroni. And God sinks it in the depths of the sea along with its inhabitants. 100 years later. So if I turned 100, if I built a city right now, and so then 100 years, let's say I have a child because I'm building a new city, probably meet a girl. So like next year my baby's born, or 5 years or whatever, the city's built. No, they did it so fast. They built the city in like a freaking week or month or something because there's not time for more Lamanite wars yet. And plus the date on the next one is... Well, by the end of this chapter, there will be like 4 years past, but that's not at the beginning of this chapter yet. We're not there yet. Oh, okay. They spend a year. They also began a foundation for a city between the city of Moroni and the city of Aaron, joining the borders of Aaron and Moroni, and they called the name of the city or the land Nephihah. Zarahemla, Moronihah, Gilgal, Onihah, Jerusalem, not that one. New Jerusalem, not that one. Gadiandi, Jacob, Himno. It doesn't say that Nephihah got destroyed. They also began in that same year to build many cities on the north. Okay, so they weren't concentrating their efforts. They were expanding their borders. They wanted more. No, they just wanted what was it was never theirs. It was Nephi's. He died. You should have followed after Nephi. You should have been like Nephi. You should have left again. It's easy to look back at history and say, well, if you would have done this. But I'm just saying, isn't this book about the people who are so inspired by God ever? So we see clearly that God wants his people murdering each other to death all the time. So they start like many cities, and thus ended the 20th year. They're like, we're going to build cities this year. And in these prosperous circumstances were the people of Nephi in the commencement of the 21st year of the reign of the judges over the people of Nephi. And they did prosper exceedingly. It's just like the level of prosperity exceeding. How are they all of a sudden just like so fucking I know they're reading the scriptures, there's order in the church. But are you really telling me that they are being so righteous right now that they're prospering exceedingly? So they're being righteous exceedingly? They're hearkening to God and remembering God right now exceedingly in this year that they're building new cities? They're building new cities for the Lamanites to take from. And in these prosperous circumstances were the people of Nephi, and they did prosper exceedingly, and they became exceedingly rich. Like, what the fuck? How can I be so righteous right now that I could get $5 from God? And they became exceedingly rich, and they did multiply. How can I be so righteous that I get a girl? Show me the fucking checklist. And they did multiply and wax strong in the land. God's just growing more soldiers to murder. And thus we see how merciful and just are all the dealings of the Lord. What the fuck are you talking about? To the fulfilling of all his words unto the children of men. Yeah. We can behold that his words are verified. Even at this time, which he spake unto Lehi, saying, Blessed art thou and thy children, and they shall be blessed, inasmuch as they shall keep my commandments. They shall prosper in the land. But remember, inasmuch as they will not keep my commandments, they shall not. Inasmuch as they will not keep my commandments, they shall be cut off from the presence of the Lord. And we see that these promises have been verified to the people of Nephi. For it has been their quarrelings and their contentions, yea, their murderings, I'm pretty sure the Nephites were cut off from the Lord in the moment that Moroni murdered those innocent people. Alma delivered that vision to his son and then left. And then his son was left with his brothers who didn't hear it to just be like, this is what he fucking said. But somehow they kind of missed the fact that he saw a vision of what was going to happen 400 years in the future. And they immediately started such a frantic frenzy that Moroni apparently had to go murder people. Innocent people. I'm harping on this because it's not leaving me alone. When is murdering innocent people without a trial, without even hearing their side of the story, you just deliver a fucking two-faced hypocrite oath ultimatum into their fucking faces and you murder them on the spot? And you're telling me, I'm pretty sure these people have nothing left for them but wisdom because the Lord God took off. He's like, I'm not doing this. Because now it's wisdom. And I admit, the main point about the Book of Mormon that I've got screaming at everybody is that the Book of Mormon only says it one time. People don't want wisdom to rule over them. They don't want her to rule over them. So I'm pretty sure it's like there's a Lord and a lady. Son of God, daughter of God, God the Father, God the Mother. It has been their quarrelings and their contentions and their murderings and their plunderings, their idolatry, their whoredoms, and their abominations, which were among themselves, which brought upon them their wars and their destructions. But it doesn't say that any of these things were going on. It doesn't say that in this moment of time, in these few years here, since like 74, 73, 72, it didn't say that that's what was going on. Is he telling us now that that is what was going on and the church needed redone so quickly? Because it didn't bring up any of those things. It's listing all this shit as justifications out of context for this dude Moroni who straight up murders people. It's not for the women and the children. They could leave. It's not for their herds. The herds can walk. They had a year. It's for their lands and their cities and their stuff. And those who were faithful in keeping the commandments of the Lord were delivered at all times. Whilst thousands of their wicked brethren have been consigned to bondage or to perish by the sword or to dwindle in unbelief and mingle with the Lamanites. It's like he just writes this so right here when Moroni drew such a line and said, get the fuck out of here. Go live there where the Lamanite, where the enemy was living. Take their lands. I know it's not their lands because it's in the land of... Go in the forest and clear everybody out and you live there. Is such of the opposite of what he just said. To dwindle in unbelief and mingle with the Lamanites. Literally, the Lamanites are the most righteous people in this fucking book. And they already exist as the most righteous people in this fucking book. The Nephites never went back and tried to take the land of inheritance from the Lamanites either. I wonder how things are down there. It doesn't ever really talk about them right now. And it came to pass that in the commencement of the 24th year. Oh, wait. But behold, there never was a happier time among the people of Nephi since the days of Nephi than in the days of Moroni. Yeah. Even at this time in the 21st year of the reign of the judges. And it came to pass that the 22nd year of the reign of the judges also ended in peace. Yea. And also the 23rd year. And it came to pass in the commencement of the 24th year of the reign of the judges, there would also have been peace among the people of Nephi, had it not been for a contention which took place among them concerning the land of Lehi and the land of Morianton, which joined upon the borders of Lehi, both of which were on the borders by the seashore. For behold, the people who possessed the land of Morianton did claim a part of the land of Lehi. Therefore there began to be a warm contention between them, insomuch that the people of Morianton took up arms against their brethren, and they were determined by the sword to slay them. And you're telling me this is all just the fucking fault of the fucking Lamanites? These people were so righteous. They were so happy. But then they see the street and there's a dude across the street and they're both eyeing this one street and they're like, no, this street's mine. No, this street's mine. No, motherfucker, this street's mine. Bitch, pussy ass little piece of shit cunt hole. I'm gonna kill you. Get the fuck over here now. But it's all the Lamanites' fault. And their happiness is entirely the Nephites' righteousness. And the Lamanites are just awful, even though the Lamanites are actually just live down here in peace and live up here as the most righteous people of all. We got these little prick assholes, dickheads named the Nephites. And who the fuck is this author that's like, everything's so great, everything's so perfect, everything's so wonderful, the Nephites are so great, everything's so wonderful. But then they're like down there going, no, we're going to murder each other to fucking death. It's how badly they want to fucking fight. It's how badly they want war. It's how badly they want murder. It's how badly they want destruction. Causing the fucking tizzy fit and scaring the shit out of the fucking choir. But it's the Lamanites. But it's the Lamanites' problem. It's the Lamanites' fault. The Lamanites are the reason for everything. No, it's whether or not you keep the commands of God. Yeah. Okay. It's really one-sided history, it seems, but whatever. And it came to pass that in the commencement of a warm dispute, they were determined by the sword to slay them. Yo! Okay. But behold, the people who possessed the land of Lehi fled to the camp of Moroni. See, Moroni's and appealed unto him for assistance. For behold, they were not in the wrong. And it came to pass that when the people of Morianton, who were led by a man whose name was Morianton, found that the people of Lehi had fled to the camp of Moroni, they were exceedingly fearful lest the army of Moroni should come upon them and destroy them. Therefore Morianton put it into their hearts that they should flee to the land which was northward, which was covered with large bodies of water. By God, if that doesn't sound like the Great Lakes. Actually, I have no idea because this is this is before Christ. This is before all the destructions take place, so who knows, actually. But Corianton goes to the Great Lakes. So, where else is there a land covered in many bodies of water besides Canada and... No, shut the fuck up. Even if you follow the second theory that puts the heartland as the center of where all this is taking place, the answer for this specific contextual question, where the fuck were they trying to get to, is the same. Where are there lands full of large bodies of water? Coeur d'Alene and north? But these aren't the people that sailed up the San Juan River. They were further south from that a bit. Or were they? So I'm wondering, there's a place where a Nephite could run across the whole land in a day, and so that's got to be like Panama. I figured the land of the south is like Venezuela. Figured the land of the north is like Mexico. So you talk about running further north than that. Is there a place southern Mexico? No. Is there a place? They're not even in. There's not a place like that until you get up to Canada. Let me pull up Google Earth right now. I'll show you. There's like thousands of lakes up there. That they should flee and take possession of the land which was northward. And behold, they would have gotten away with it too, if it hadn't been for this maidservant. Wait, what? And behold, they would have gone away with it. And behold, they would have carried this plan into effect, which would have been a cause to have been lamented. But behold, Morianton, being a man of much passion, therefore he was angry with one of his maidservants, and he fell upon her and beat her much. Damn. And it came to pass that she fled and came over to the camp of Moroni and told Moroni all the things concerning the matter and also concerning their intentions to flee into the land northward. Why can't they? The Nephites won't. Now behold, the people who... So is Moroni judge, jury, and executioner because this one dude beat this one girl? Not saying it was the first time he would do it. Not saying he's not going to keep doing it for the rest of his life. But I'm just saying, is Moroni now judge, jury, and executioner because this girl got beat? Now behold, the people who were in the land Bountiful, or rather Moroni, feared that they would hearken to the words of Morianton and unite with his people. And thus he would obtain possession of those parts of the land, which would lay a foundation for serious consequences among the people of Nephi. Yea, which consequences would lead to the overthrow of their liberty. What the hell? What? If Moroni lets these dudes take off to the land of desolation, I gotta figure that's like what, Albuquerque? Where I'm at? This place sucks, but I don't... It's further... Maybe they never crossed the San Juan River. And so they always, I don't. We'll get to that later, but it's not in this, so we won't get to it. Here's a serious question. How come these people running away to the north would overthrow the Nephites' liberty? Is that true, or is that a rumor that he made up? What's going on here? I don't know. Huh. Apparently, if these people run away, all of the Nephites' liberty, everything is over. Just overdone. I don't understand. But okay. Therefore, Moroni sent an army with their camp to head the people of Morianton to stop their fight into the land northward. Flight. Because I've kind of got. I don't know. And it came to pass that they did not head them until they had come to the borders of the land Desolation. Yeah, Desolation. And there they did head them by the narrow pass which led by the sea into the land northward. Yea, by the sea, on the west, and on the east. The fuck is this talking about? But okay. Oh, right. Well, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Maybe they weren't that far north yet. And it came to pass that the army which was sent by Moroni, which was led by a man whose name was Teancum, James Hawkins, Jim Hawkins, running around on his little tour of life with Captain Teancum. Oh, those are good books. I want to set for myself someday. It's midnight. I wonder if Grandma went to bed so I can go get some bread or milk. Instead, I could have the bread. See, this chewed me out about taking the milk. I could get her more milk tomorrow if I could take a vehicle. I mean, I could on my bike, but I don't want it. Maybe I will, though. I don't know. See some juice. Not much further left. Not much further left. Oh, we're about to the end of this one. Wonder what old dead Hugh Nibley would have to say about my way of seeing it this time around. Oh. And so stubborn were the people of Morianton, being inspired by his wickedness and his flattering words, Okay, author, justifying ends. And it came to pass that the army which was sent by Moroni, which was led by a man whose name was Tiangum, did meet the people of Morianton. And so stubborn were the people of Morianton that they had to kill him. The battle commenced between them, in the which Tiangum did slay Morianton, and defeat his army, and took them prisoners, and returned to the camp of Moroni. And thus ended the 24th year of the reign of the judges over the people of Nephi. And thus were the people of Morianton brought back, and upon the covenanting Naga to keep the peace. No, you can't leave. You have to stay here and be peaceful. They were restored to the land of Morianton, and a union took place between them and the people of Lehi, and they were also restored to their lands. God had to go kill the wicked. God uses the wicked to kill the wicked. And it came to pass that in the same year that the people of Nephi had peace restored unto them, false peace, that Nephihah, the second chief judge, died. They had so much peace that the second chief judge died. That's not what it says. That the people of Nephi had peace restored unto them, comma, that Nephihah, the second chief judge, died, having filled the judgment seat with perfect uprightness before God. Nevertheless, he had refused Alma to take possession of those records and those things which were esteemed by Alma and his fathers to be most sacred. Therefore Alma had conferred them upon his son Helaman. So Helaman wasn't his first choice. Ah. Oh, I didn't know that. Reluctantly do I stand before you and take upon myself. Wasn't his first choice. None of his sons were his first choice. Behold, it came to pass that the son of Nephihah was appointed to fill the judgment seat in the stead of his father. He was appointed chief judge and governor over the people, with an oath and sacred ordinance to judge righteously, and to keep the peace and the freedom of the people, and to grant unto them their sacred privileges to worship the Lord their God, yea, to support and maintain the cause of God all his days, and to bring the wicked to justice according to their crime. This sounds like propaganda. Judge righteously, yes. Keep the peace. And the freedom of the people. But they just keep making people not be free. And they keep forcing people to not be free. And they keep not allowing people to be free. They force them to take these oaths. To grant unto them their sacred privileges to worship the Lord their God. That is not something that is granted unto you. That is something that you are. It's something you have. It's not a privilege. It's not a blessing. It is. It's such propaganda. To support and maintain the cause of God all his days, sure. And to bring the wicked to justice according to their crime. This is not where wisdom and justice and mercy all meet. Or is it? Because they were just blaming a whole shit ton of fucked up shit that they did on Mercy. Where's the love? Where's the love? Where is the love, the love, the love? And now behold, his name was Pahoran, and Pahoran did fill the seat of his father, and to commence his reign in the end of the 24th year over the people of Nephi. Right. You can't leave. You have to stay here and keep the peace. Okay. Well, it would seem to me I don't know. Goodbye.